Hi everyone. So, in today's class, we'll be dealing with the short fiction Antidote by R.K. Narayan. Renowned writer R.K. Narayan is one of the leading figures of the early English literature alongside Raja Rao and Mulkraj Anand. A master storyteller, he captures the life of the middle class by seasoning with life's little ironies pragmatically and humorously. Most of his stories are set in a semi-urban fictional town in southern India, Malgudi. So R.K. Narayan's greatest works and is a phenomenal writer, an Indian English writer. And again, Malgudi is this fictional town that he has created. Now, in the portrayal of characters and situations, Narayan's microscopic vision gives us an insight into the delicate and minute details which could have escaped our normal vision. So, another aspect of R.K. Narayan's work is that even minute details are portrayed in his work. So, the things that we could actually miss out in our day to day lives, all these are beautifully explained in his work. So, here it gives an insight and understanding. We could miss out many things in our day to day life, but in his work, he makes us rethink of all those things which we could have missed in our normal life. And he makes us think that this, in fact, is a matter of concern. So, this is the speciality of his works. Now, his stories depict the widest range of human experience, from the innocent pranks of children to serious communal riots, miseries of common man to filial relationship, superstitions, and orthodox social traditions. So, all these are the areas which is concerned. Let it be from small children's stories to big communal riots and to superstitions to all problems in a relationship. So all these are the areas which he focus on, and these are common day-to-day things which happen, but when he put it into words, we understand the seriousness of the problems that lie in it, or the importance of certain relationship, or the matters that has to be looked upon with concern. Now, gifted with the power to transform the mundane into the extraordinary, his style is marked for genial humor and simplicity. So again, here, again, from the mundane to the extraordinary, from something which is very dull, which is normal, which is common, to the extraordinary. That is the beauty of his works. So we would not even consider certain topics which he speaks about, but when as we read through his works, we know this. Okay, this area is actually, or this topic, or this problem is actually quite terrible. So here, let's move on to the short fiction. And here today, it is this area that we are focusing on. It is regarding this area, superstitions and orthodox social traditions. So there are certain superstitions. Now, again, in being an Indian English writer, again, speaking about our culture, there's a lot of beautiful aspects in his work which mentions about our culture. So, again, here he is talking about superstitions. Yes, superstitions is the topic or the theme which we are focusing here today in this work, Antidote. So, here, superstitions, we all come across various superstitions. We have, even if we do not follow some, we have heard many of these superstitions, be the black cat crossing the street or the mirror or anything, number 13, all these kind of things which we come across. So here again, many people actually believe in such superstitions, or from then another aspect which people, some orthodox principles or some traditions which our culture follows, following astrology, or in going and seeking of what the future will be predicting of. So we, certain people, go to the astrologer to ask what would my future be, or what is the concern to these problems. So all these things we blindly follow on certain people. So there are people who bring us into such trouble. Some people manipulate us in these situations. So most of us, the Indians who go to all this or follow all this, or for that matter, any human being who follow all that, our writer R.K. Narayan, he oppresses or he just denies such kind of practices, and he shows his hatred towards such practices through this short fiction. And here, in a very humorous manner, he, he brings about such um, factors through this short fiction. So, moving on to the story, here this is Antidote. Again, it is the picture of a set, of a film set, and here we have the director, we have all the things happening around, people are getting ready for a shot. So all this is happening here, and here we have the director, and our main character here is Gopal. So Gopal is our protagonist, and he is a person who follows all these astrologers or any other superstitions, all these things. He just blindly follow and believes all this. And in a very rational setup, he still follows all these beliefs. So now he's in the set, he's the actor, and we have the director and the actor here, and we find the director giving him instructions. And about our director, is a person who does not narrate the whole story to his actors, but he just asks them to act out that particular shot at that very moment. So the actor does not know what is yet to come or what the story is at that point. He just asks the actor to display the role at that point. So here is it is a part where the director is instructing Gopal to do a particular act. So here he says this, listen carefully to this. You remember your last dialogue line was hello. Is that so? Is it to be continued in action? So it is to be continued in action. You will pause for a tenth of a second, let the telephone drop from your hand, fall back in your chair, and let your head roll to the side ever so lightly. So this is the instruction what the director gives to the actor Gopal. So there was this scene where Gopal is supposed to take the phone and he's supposed to speak and say hello, is that so? And he should act shocked. So this is the scene. So this is the instructions he's giving. So you will pause for a tenth of a second, let the telephone drop from your hand, fall back into your chair and roll to the side. So this is the scene where he's shocked, his phone drops from his hand and he falls to the side and drops his head. So this, by instructing this to the actor, our Gopal is a bit curious. Like, what is this scene? Why is my head drooping to the, or going to, why is my head slightly tilted? Why am I putting the phone down? So what is happening to me? So he is very curious here, and he's asking the director, what is the reason? Like, why am I supposed to do it? What is happening to me here? So the director says, just do what I am telling you now and don't get too curious. So he's like, you have to just act it. Don't ask what are the things which has to, like, what is the story or what am I doing here. You just act and don't act curious. He's just treating his actors like a puppet. So just act it and that's it. Don't ask too many questions. So that is the scene, and you see Gopal is actually tensed. He has the phone where he's to speak. So Gopal is very much at an unease position. He's like, but still, I need to know what it is. Why is that so? So again, before moving on to this dialogue of Gopal, we'll say that the director finally says that in that scene, you are actually taking the telephone, saying hello, and is that so? You're shocked and you're dying at that moment. So you just fall and then you tilt your head at the side and you are getting a heart attack. So with that, he's dying in that shot. So this makes a big havoc inside our Gopal, and he's just tumultuous about the whole situation, and he just cannot digest the fact that he's dying in that scene. But why? That we would come to know. And he says, today is my birthday. So what's so special about your birthday? Let it be your birthday. It's a great thing. That's what the director says. But what happens is, he says, rather a particular birthday. It's a very special, rather particular birthday. Why? He says, this is my 49th birthday. Astrologers have often told me that I might not see this day, this birthday, and if I live to see this day, I should have nothing more to worry about. I have lived in secret terror of this day all my life. Whenever I saw my wife and children, I used to be racked with the thought that I should probably be leaving them orphans. I came late today because we held some proprietary rites at home for the planets and we celebrated my survival this day with a feast. My astrologers has suggested that I do nothing unpleasant today. Sir, I wish to treat it as a very auspicious day. So again, what Gopal says, today it's a very particular auspicious day. It's my 49th birthday, and many of the astrologers have said that I would not see this day, that I would die on this day. An accidental death would happen. But today I lived. So that's why I became late, because today we had some particular rituals. I had a special ceremony. So that's why with the astrologers. So that is why I became late, and today is the day of my survival. And my astrologer told me not to do anything inauspicious, not to do anything bad or something which is very inauspicious today. Do something very, very pleasant. So that is why this is a dying scene. So he does not want that scene to take place. So he is now he has believed completely, blindly believed the astrologer, and he is not willing to do the act. So this is his explanation. So the director says, no, I can't. There would be a great loss. The producer comes in. He has a big talk over there. There's a loss, and we can't make another set. We can't make it to another day. So while all these conversations are going on, Gopal sees all these people like Yama, meaning the Lord of Death, who comes and takes him to the world of the dead. So he imagines all these people has to be in the form of Yama. So that is the scene here. And finally, he knows all these are not going to happen, and the last thing that would happen to him is that he would lose his job. So in order to avoid that, he somehow agrees and he decides, and looking at the expressions of all these people, he says, all right, sir, I will die. So he finally agrees to do the scene. Now this is the scene where that at the end, where the people are, all of them are watching, is that a trial that has been taken, and the shot is directed, but he does something very peculiar there. He does something different, something a cunning twist to it. What is it? Here, though he was supposed to be dead, he shook his head slightly, opened his right eye, and winked at the camera, which he hoped would act as an antidote to the inauspicious role he was doing. The director, however, shouted, no good, repeat action, retake. So, what happened here is, where he acted the scene, but he made a change to it. He did something different. This time what he did, he fell, he received the call, he acted dead, but slightly he just opened one of his eye and he winked at the camera. So he winked, that happened in order to make it as an antidote. Now, that is the scene here, where he winks at the camera. So here he is not dying. That shot, with nobody noticed that particular scene which he did, with the act which he did there, where he winks at the camera. So that is the scene here. And what is an antidote? Something that counteracts an unpleasant feeling or situation. It is like a solution to a problem, a countermeasure. So it is something that counteracts an unpleasant feeling or situation. Here he changed his fate. So his superstitious belief that if I do actually die in that scene, something bad would happen to me. So what did I do? I just winked at the camera in order to make it as an antidote, something which is a countermeasurement to that inauspicious thing. So at the end he is showing that he is alive in order to make that superstition, in order to save himself from that particular inauspicious act. So that's how he is following such superstitions in his life. So here it's a very in a very humorous way, yet a a proper explanation by R.K. Narayan that in spite, see now there's a big loss, if you think practically, there's a big loss for the producer, the directors, all the people who are working in the set because of his one superstitious belief of his act. There's a big loss for all those people. The people who are setting the cameras, everything, they have to take the shot again. So just because of his superstitious belief. So our society, this is just a small example where our society is leading. No matter how educated, how rational minded people try to be, there are certain factors that we still linger on to, certain superstitious things. So as we read through these pages of literature, we get to know, it is a lesson to all of us that so, is superstitious belief led to a loss, a pain for all of them. So we should also rethink of certain things and certain orthodox beliefs that we follow has to be changed. In this uh, modern world, we should not be sitting and thinking about all the superstitious beliefs or certain culture that we follow. Certain things has to be altered with time and see that nobody else is hurt because of our actions. So through these beautiful stories, we get, even though humorous, we get the understanding, we get a message of how we should live our lives. Thank you.